Good afternoon everybody, welcome to another tutorial. Today we are going to be actually screen recording for this tutorial, and we are actually going to be going through a Windows 8.1 installation. So let's get into it. So in this case I've actually created a virtual machine. So what I'm going to do is we're going to use what you call Proxmox KVM to actually install this virtual machine. So yeah, there's a good thing about virtual machines. You can actually have several running at once, but for this case we're just going to be going through Windows 8.1 installation. So we'll start the machine and we'll go through the installation. Yep, and we'll just log into the console so you'll be able to see visually what's going on. So yeah, so now we've got the starting of the Windows 8.1 installation. Also, the cool thing about KVM2 is you can actually be logged into multiple devices on the one machine. So I'm actually logged into two devices at the same time. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'll manipulate everything from one device, but I'll leave the device as full screen on the recording side. So now it says welcome, so now what we want to do is go next, and then after that we just want to go install Windows 8.1. So we just want to install. So now it's just the setup is starting, and once it's started we'll just quickly go through the initial setup. This is a blank virtual machine, so you just have to click the I accept, and then after that we'll go next, custom installation, and we'll just go next. And now it is installing Windows 8.1 on a virtual machine. So this is a light edition. I just thought I'd go through a run of a Windows 8.1 light edition. See, the good thing about Windows 8.1 light editions is they allow you or light editions either come pre-activated, or they allow you to use it unlimitedly, even though you've got a you've actually got to you can activate it if you want. So yeah, just a second guys, I'll just get rid of all these notifications. Oh, that one too. So yeah, so this is actually installing off a so everything's running off these no disk drives or anything like that. It's just everything's running off the Proxmox server that I've done in the past. So this is the beauty of a type 1 hypervisor, is I'm actually, as I said, this is a phone client that I'm using for the server. But so all I'm using my phone is an input device. Excuse me, I'm just having a coffee at the same time as I'm doing this. So this will take some time depending on how fast your computer is or how much RAM and cores you've dedicated to this thing. So I've only just dedicated this 1 gig of RAM because in my system is I've only got 4 gigs of RAM, which is okay because I've got the computer for $5. Which I can add extra extra RAM in it. So at a later stage, that's what I will do, since I will be using this as a virtual machine style computer. I also use it as a normal computer as well. I've just got 3 hard drives installed in this computer. 2 are dedicated for the virtual server and the backup of the VMs. So one hard drive has backups of the VMs, one hard drive has VMs on it in the OS, and then the other one has the third hard drive has Windows 10 and Android installed. So yeah, what a way to turn your computer into a server and also use your computer as a standalone computer when you need to. So yeah, we until this is finished, we're just waiting for this installation or this part to finish. we're almost there. We're at 90, at 30, I can't really see those numbers properly. It's a bit of a small. Oh, we're almost done, 96%. Let's go. So now it's finished. It's just so what it's gonna do now is just quickly go through the updating that's included with the disk. These usually got custom firmware or custom updates that come with certain disks. So that's what's installed now. And now what it's going to do is, after it's finished that, it is going to reboot. So give it a couple of more seconds and it will reboot. So now we're in rebooting. So we'll just reboot. Instead of waiting for it, we'll just push the reboot. So here we go. Now it is going through the installation. So what it'll do now is it will it'll detect the hard drive or drivers for the hardware that it's installing, which in this case it's a virtual machine. So yeah, you will see a couple of startups reboots, or this will be the second to last reboot. So unless it doesn't find any drivers that require restarting, that's the only time it'll reboot, but we'll see. So this is taking its time. See if we rotate it this way. No, it doesn't make much of a difference, so we'll just stay like this. So now it is just going through the initial setup stage, getting devices ready. As you see, that was quick because since we're in a virtual machine, that's what I forgot to mention in my last tutorial is there are limited drivers for things like sound and video if you want to use sound and video on these virtual machines. So usually when you're using a Type 1 hypervisor, people use them for business only. So yeah, you wouldn't want to use it for especially if you've got using media players or anything like that. You wouldn't want to use it for anything like that because of the fact that it is how can I put it? It is more designed for a enterprise environment, and with enterprise environments, majority of the time, depending what you're doing, yeah. So now it didn't find any drivers requiring restart because, as I said, this is only it doesn't got much drivers for the virtual machine, pretty much just enough just to operate it. So now it's setting up the administration account. So any of the accounting you don't actually have to do. You can add another account to this or put a password on the administration account, but this is the cool thing about Lite is you don't a lot of the stuff done for you. So now we have Windows 8.1, a fresh installment of Windows 8.1. So that's from installing it to it running. So this, just to go through it, so it's got basic things installed. This is just, since it's a light edition of Windows, it's only the bare minimum. Oops. It's only the bare minimum that's in things. So there's a lot of features of the Windows 8.1 Lite that Windows 8.1 that has been taken out. So I just like to put it like this so I can see it better. So yeah, here we go. You know, this is a virtual computer. So this PC, there we go. We've got the Windows 8 virtual CD-ROM drive, which I installed Windows 8 from. You've got the local drive here. If we go to right-click the computer, this PC and go properties. See, this is the hardware information that the this thinks. Sorry, it just keeps on rotating. Actually, what I'll do is I'll turn auto rotation off because it is quite annoying. So yeah, this is the hardware information that the virtual machine thinks it's got. Well, what I've allocated it. So it's dual core. It hasn't got the right name for the. It's got the right name for the. Sorry, does got the right name for the processor. So which is quite cool, but it says it's a dual core rather than a, you know, rather than a thing. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And that's how you install Windows 8.1 Lite on a virtual machine. So hopefully you learned something new, and until next time, you have a good day and choo choo.